My name is Pat Lindeman. I am the Ingham County Drain Commissioner and have been since 1993. Lately I've been giving uh, a lot of lectures and tours to people who are in the engineering business, and they want to know what a treatment train is and how it works. In this system behind us, for example, this is a Montgomery drain. It is composed of many aspects of treatment that the water goes through, and by the time it hits the river, it's almost clean.
Drain Commissioner Lindeman is way ahead of his time. He's been a pioneer in this sort of technology that we're looking at today for a long time. And, I've really appreciated Commissioner Lindeman's commitment not only to protecting clean water locally, but to doing so in a way that brings us back to nature and creates beautiful places like this for the public.
This is a really cool project. There are so many different facets that have been thought through and incorporated here, from just the different stonework that's been included with the limestone, with the rock for the habitat, with the meanders and the ponds. There's just so many different things that have been brought together and that have been really made integral and part of a natural development. It feels very natural as you're walking through it.
Projects like this, massive here, has an effect all the way down to Lake Michigan because we're part of the Great Lakes watershed basin. So that's the connectivity that we'd like to emphasize for families that come here. Apart from each element, as you can see, the waterfall here that's aerating, providing oxygen in the water. We'd like to provide educational information about each element, but also the big picture. And if we can do that while people are having fun, we feel like we'll have a better opportunity to get the message to them, the importance of clean water and why a county official, a drain commissioner, would undertake a project of this scope. It is to serve the community.
We manage water between point A and B, not move it between point A and B. We manage it. Get that straight. We manage it. And the way that we manage it is by building ecosystems next to where we live. We do that because we care about the frogs, we care about the salamanders, but we also care about clean water. Put a price on clean water. What price is clean water? How much does it cost?
A project like the Montgomery Drain, you could traditionally clean the water with active treatment systems, and these are not new technologies. They've been around, for a couple hundred years now. You can clean that water. It can be done, at several dollars a gallon. To do that with traditional practices and active treatment. I will say that the level of treatment that we get in the Montgomery Drain is, fractions of the cost, because we're using, a methodology of passive treatment. So we're using natural built environments to accomplish what we would otherwise do in concrete boxes, where we add chemicals and we do all kinds of means and measures to unnaturally remove that pollution.
The old-fashioned way is to put it in a pipe and take it to the river as fast as you can. It's never managed in between the two. With my methods, my designs, they are. The Montgomery is a perfect example. That is a drainage district which is in the floodplain. It handles, takes on the river, comes up into it, and drops a load of pollution. 96% of the storms have been 2.5 inches or less. So that's 2.5 inches of the pollution we deal with. We have the capacity to hold back that much water. As we need to, beyond that, the water comes off the watershed pretty clean. And what goes into the river is pretty clean because all the pollution is already off the watershed with the first 2 inches of rainfall. So if you follow that logic, you have a mechanism to manage both quantity and quality and to manage water between point A and point B.
The project that we have been building and is nearly complete now, its first purpose is to continue to collect and manage the water, so that nobody really understands that anything's changing. Its second purpose is interrupting what has happened, ever since the shopping center was created, and that is to, collect that, interrupt it, keep it from going into the river, and, manage that water in the places that we're able to manage that water, and while we're doing that, to clean that water. And it's a really challenging watershed because so much of it's urbanized. We looked at, as part of the course of building that project, we looked for many, many places where we could clean the water, because usually the best way to deal with it is you treat pollution at its source. So before you ever let the pollution move around, you get the pollution out of the water. In the case of the Montgomery Drain, there's not any available land in those locations where that pollution is created. And some of the genius of the project was that we are collecting the pollution. We're doing it in a way that's not causing flooding to happen. So we're capturing the water, we're transporting it to where we can treat it, we're cleaning the water, and then we're putting it back in the system cleaner. And we keep doing that, 24/7, all year long, and only the largest storms with the least amount of pollution in them exceed the capacity of the system.
I manage and build ecosystems, and I build them so that they handle the water rather than let the water go into the river.
It's a genius project, really, to bring together something so practical and so necessary, clean water, and people around that water that we know people like. To have this amenity this close for people and their families and kids, it's genius.